All right, so we can get started, and I will keep an eye out, everybody. So if you have clients that are trying to get on, you can either forward them the link I sent you with that number, or if they're emailing me, I'm going to be keeping an eye on both sides. Just so that's not going to be a problem. So I apologize to everybody for this crazy issues we had tonight. That's not normal. Usually we're pretty flowing good with Zoom nowadays, but oh, well, here we are. So, my name is Donna, and I am the Supplier Performance Manager with Team Friesen. And you might be saying, who the heck is Team Friesen? So, we're going to show you a couple of slides about our team. So, Team Friesen, this is our wonderful owners, Sean and Tammy, who are luckily traveling right now. Lucky them. So, they have been 17 years in the business. Our very first center was Thunder Bay, and we actually now have over 400 consultants from Kenora to North Bay, Windsor, Toronto, across Ontario at this point. So we actually have soon to be 16 storefronts, but right now we are at 14 open and working on one more. So very exciting stuff. Last year in 2024, we will actually have had 30,000 passengers travel. So very crazy amount of numbers with all our teams. And Maurizio's going to be my van and flip the page for me. So here are some of our locations: Thunder Bay, Sault Ste. Marie, Sudbury, North Bay, Barrie, Burlington, 2 locations, Hamilton, Ancaster, Dundas, Woodstock, Chatham, that is almost ready to open the doors, Sarnia and Windsor. Our next store to open will be St. Thomas, and then after that, Aurelia. So a little bit of across the board. And there we go. So why book with us? This is some of our team out there. Our team has traveled to all the continents. With 400 consultants, that is sort of what we do. We try to really keep it as a team. In fact, right now we have a group of 60 cabins on a cruise that we have that many consultants traveling together. And we really try to work as a team so that if I've never been someplace, but I know somebody in our Burlington stores, we can set up a Zoom. I can ask them for advice, and we work together that way. So it's a little bit different, where most storefronts, it doesn't matter where you are, we don't have 400 people. So that's one of our best reasons to book with us. And I'll get you, well, there should be one or two more, I believe. So this is some of our storefronts here. There's beautiful stores out there. You can see some of them have the beautiful signage with the big ships. North Bay is not on there because that one has a huge ship. So this is some of our stores. There's Windsor on there, all kinds of North Base, Woodstock, all of them. So not all of them, because there would be a lot more, but it's coming. And so this is some of our team right here. We do, like I said, like to travel together. So you can see there is 4 different ones of us traveling in different locations. And then up here on the right-hand side, this is our Woodstock office with some of our consultants there. And at the bottom left-hand side, that is Kathy and Judy and a bunch of our consultants in the Hamilton area. And Maurizio, is that the last slide for me? It is. So now I'm going to say, introduce Maurizio. We have been lucky enough to work with him many, many times. He has the best presentations, and he is with Globus family of brands. So he's going to probably talk about all of them. I'm right, Maurizio?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So, of course, Globus and Cosmos, wonderful touring companies, and Avalon Waterways, amazing river cruise, which I got to experience last year. Just amazing. So, I am going to pass it on to him and he will go through this. And again, if you have questions, please, you can either write them in the chat or keep them till the end, and we will answer all your questions. We're not going to kick you off before they're all answered. So, Maurizio, take it away.
Thank you so much, Donna. Thank you so much to the Team Friesen group. Back 17 years ago, I remember when you guys started. It feels like yesterday when you guys started off, and I was wondering how big would they get, and you guys are huge. I call it Team Friesen Empire. So we really appreciate working with you, and I really appreciate you guys having me on tonight. Again, for the purpose of lagging and everything else, I think I will turn off my video as well, just to make sure everything flows smoothly with my videos that I have on. So let me just turn my video off. And again, we'll keep the questions right till the end, and we'll take care of it that way at the end. All right. So without further ado, I'll get right into the PowerPoint presentation. And, as Donna mentioned, it's the Globus family of brands. So we represent three different brands. It'd be Globus, Cosmos, and Avalon Waterways. And we'll kind of go over it in that order. So we'll do Globus, Cosmos, and then we'll finish with Avalon Waterways. Many of you may be on the call for the River Cruise product, so we'll save I like to call it the best for last, but you know what? Even our coach touring product is phenomenal, and it truly is our bread and butter. So I'd be remiss if we didn't talk about our touring product as well. I thought it'd be fitting to begin the PowerPoint with a video, and this is just a brief history of our company, who we are, and where we are now. So here you have it.
Began with a dream. Small dream from a man on his rowboat in Lake Lugano. Antonio Montagazza had a vision of doing more than transporting goods across the lake.
Thank
He
you.
dreamed of taking people across the globe.
Bye.
In 1928, when he created Globus, Antonio exchanged his rowboat for motor coaches and initiated a ripple in travel that changed the world. By 1950, Globus expanded from Swiss day trips to Italian holidays, and with help from another entrepreneur, Werner Albeck, the company unveiled the world's first multi-country European touring vacations. In 1961, Globus created Cosmos for cost-conscious travelers, generating another ripple of change. And over the next few decades, Globus and Cosmos expanded to Africa, Australia, North America, and Asia. By 2004, the ripple from Antonio's rowboat led the company back to its roots, to make waves on the rivers of Europe with the launch of Avalon Waterways. In 2011, Avalon changed the tide of cruising again with the world's first sweet ship, then a fleet of sweet ships, all while elevating cruising. All the while, Globus continued to innovate touring, taking travelers beyond the globe's go-to landmarks to uncover undiscovered towns and coasts without crowds, leading wayfarers to extraordinary moments and the memories waiting for them. Today, the ripples Antonio's dream inspired are at the heart of everything we do. From one rowboat to 95 years of fulfilling travel dreams across the globe, the Globus family of brands continues to row toward awe and wonder. This is how we row. Feel the current.
So there you have that wonderful video. Actually, you're one of the first to watch that video. It's brand new for the Canadian market, and you were very happy about the accomplishments, over the years. To be in any business for, 95 years, we began in 1928, is truly an accomplishment. But to be in travel for that long is, we feel a feat, right? All the peaks and valleys that travel has gone through, and we've stood the test of time. So again, Globus, Cosmos, and Avalon, 6 of the 7 continents is what we're visiting. Here, I always say never. We may be back at the 7th continent, Antarctica. We have been there before. So you never know. Fingers crossed with that one. 67 countries and 512 vacations. So what we like to say, we have the full gamut of product and lineup. Depending on what you're looking for, we should have a product to match. What I often say when you're thinking of a Globus product is the why, right? What's the why behind traveling with us? When you think of us as being one of the guided vacation experts in the world, they're perfectly planned vacations, right? All the logistics are taken care of. These are fully guided with the expert tour director, local hosts, the coach driver. You're part of a large group related to taking you ins and outs. Very hard to do what we do independently by trying to rent a car and doing it on your own and doing your own thing. So normally in an in-person presentation, I normally ask who's been on a guided vacation before, and we do a show of hands. For the purpose of a virtual session, obviously we can't do a show of hands. So what I want to do is just ask who wants to go on a guided vacation right now, and usually most people say yes. So I'm going to take you on a guided vacation, nice and easy right now. Here we go.
On your right, the Tower of London. On your left, Buckingham Palace. Right, Piccadilly Circus. Left, Trafalgar Square. Right, Field, left, the Upfield to Kent. And here we are at the seaside.
Huh. So I love showing that video for more than one reason. One is the stigma or the misconceptions related to guided vacations. People still think that that's how coach touring is done. If it's Tuesday, it must be in Belgium and very rushed and everything else. But we know the truth is we're the complete opposite of that. With our guided vacations nowadays, it's all about digging deeper into the people, the culture, the history of that destination. Not like that lightning video. So again, try to get that out of your brain waves. When you're thinking of Globus and Cosmos in general, we have many different ways of touring with our brands, right? So 12 different ways, in fact, ranging anywhere from a classic tour right into the more popular nowadays is our cruise and tour kind of segments. Kind of mixing up the mode of transportation is a common thing. Instead of always being on the motor coach, mixing it up with either a river cruise or possibly a big ship cruise backed up with one of our land holidays is not uncommon. We do rail vacations. So even within our Canadian product, we partner with Rocky Mountaineer. For those of you who know Rocky Mountaineer, they're featured in our USA Canada brochure and product lineup. And what we do there is we do a land product with our coach, and then we hop on the Rocky Mountaineer experience with our rail. We also have rail vacations in Europe. So really the full gamut. When we talk about our classic touring, it's more the multi-country kind of approach. The idea behind that is great for the first-time traveler, one that's looking for something new and exciting. Why not take one of those multi-country? And what you'll find is you're bound to fall in love with one of those destinations, and you can focus in, on a regional escape with your next holiday. So we'll move along into what we always try to have included with our packages. So whether it be a Globus or a Cosmos, we always incorporate the VIP access, meaning we love to skip the lines. The lines are there for individual travelers, ones that try to do it on their own and then end up in those huge lineups. We skip it. We also offer local favorites, and I'll highlight that through the presentation as well. Local favorites is again digging deeper into the culture of that particular country or city. Wi-Fi, the little things like Wi-Fi included, it's included on our motor coaches, in the hotels, and when we get into the Avalon product on our ships with no additional cost point. I'm hearing more and more that, let's say a big ship cruise line is, offering Wi-Fi, but you got to buy it on a package. With our product, we do not ever sell Wi-Fi. It's included with everything that we do. And there you have it. There's a view of one of our beautiful, luxurious motor coaches with free Wi-Fi on the coach. With a country like Italy, you're cruising along on a beautiful motor coach and everyone is down on their iPhone or Samsung device because of the Wi-Fi. So I could tell you that the tour director and coach driver, they have control over the Wi-Fi. So if they ever wanted to turn it off to get all the undivided attention, they could do it. So all the heads pop up when the Wi-Fi turns off. But I love showing this image because oftentimes we forget about how beautiful our motor coaches are, right? These are, luxurious coaches with the panoramic windows. Even with the largest SUV, we're storming over it with the viewpoints. The advantages to our coaches is the fact that we don't own them, we actually lease them. So every 4 to 5 years, we're giving them back and getting brand new equipment. It's not uncommon to see even hardwood floor, in these beautiful motor coaches. If the pandemic did teach us anything, it's all about social distancing nowadays. And what we try to do on average is keep our size down to 36 passengers. With any extreme, with averages, you get extremes on either end. Peak seasonality, our coaches could accommodate up to 52 passengers, but we do try our best to keep it down to an average of 36. And again, we talked about the Wi-Fi in both Europe and North America. So again, in terms of the agenda and what we're going over tonight, it's all about Globus first. And Globus here, we're talking about the hotels and being as centrally located as possible. And first class accommodation is what we strive for. We want you to be in a destination within walking distance to the main square or any type of shopping area is really what the Globus hotel format is all about. With Globus as well as Cosmos, we're all about having the best tour directors in the industry. You know, once they sign on with Globus, they don't want to leave. It's not uncommon to have these tour directors with us for, 30 years, 35 years. It's not uncommon. They never want to leave us. And, as much as our tour directors are fantastic and they're truly the glue that holds everything together, you're going to have a great tour when you have a great tour director. I find that we have fantastic local guides as well, and these are the true locals that live in that destination. Here you have an image of somewhere that you and I would walk right past without even knowing was important or famous. But our local guides will bring that to life. They'll tell you about a famous historian that maybe walked through that alleyway. Again, stuff that we would not be able to do on our own. We find that our tour directors, as well as our local guides in combination, bring all of that to life for you. Here's a great image of the unhappy line is how we like to categorize that. Here we are at the Vatican. It's actually not even peak seasonality, judging by some of the attire that some of those people are wearing. What I can tell you that with Globus and with Cosmos, we have VIP access. So what we do is we skip the line. Our VIP access allows you into, a historical landmark like the Vatican Museum before it opens to the general public. So you're there about 20 minutes before it opens to the general public. We like to say everything but the red carpet in terms of royalty treatment. But even that, sometimes we do have a red carpet out there for you. So it is an amazing way to see and explore. You truly feel like a local when you're traveling with us, especially when you're able to skip all the lines and just get in and see it at your own pace. Local favorites is something that we offer with Globus that we do not offer with Cosmos. And local favorites is all about this, digging deeper into the people and the culture. It's not uncommon to have a meal with a local family. Here you have a culinary experience that they're going through with wine and food. The local favorite is all about, again, digging deeper. We have product lineup that ranges, but when you're talking about local favorites, it's not uncommon to do something like a tango lesson in Buenos Aires, or maybe visit a recording studio in Nashville. Anything that city or country is known for, we try to bring it to life with our local favorites. So we encourage you when you're looking through our brochure or looking at our product with your Expedia consultant, ask, which local favorite would be having on this particular tour. Especially if it's a Globus tour, you're going to have one included, possibly even two, depending on the itinerary. This is one of our tried, tested, and true departures, and we like highlighting it just to show you what a typical tour would look like. The best of Italy, as an insider tip, whenever you see the best of, so for example, this one, the best of Italy, these ones are tried, tested, and true. These have been around for many, many years. It's almost like if it isn't broken, we don't fix it. These are itineraries that have stood the test of time. As you can see, we highlight the beginning and end. So this particular tour would begin in Rome and end in Rome. So with 2 overnights in Rome at the beginning, and then it goes up toward the Pisa area. So you have 2 overnights in Montecatini. You definitely get a chance to take that photo with the Leaning Tower of Pisa, and then make your way up to Venice for 2 overnights, 1 night in Assisi. Why we love this tour, we talked about it earlier, but mixing up the mode of transportation a bit. So again, not always being on the coach down there in the southern part of Italy, you actually have a ferry crossing, hitting the Isle Capri and Sorrento with a ferry crossing. So that, again, it changes up the mode of transportation. We find that that's a really good blend to incorporate. Very beautiful imagery of the Colosseum at night, bit of Florence. Hard to take a bad picture on this particular tour. Pompeii, must-see attraction. Even if you're taking a tour that doesn't include Pompeii in the initial cost point, let's say you're in Rome, you definitely, if you have time or spare time, you would want to take a day trip into Pompeii. It's definitely a must-see, and we can help you with that for sure. Here's one of the local favorites in the Isle of Capri. Now, when we talked about the 12 different travel styles and what we offer through the program, Undiscovered Vacations is one of those travel styles, and Undiscovered is all about that. It's about finding areas that are off the beaten track, right? This is great for a repeat traveler if you've already been to Italy, let's say, and now you want to hit an area like Cinque Terre or maybe the Puglia region of Italy. We can take you there with the Undiscovered holidays. These are unique. I like to call these a bragging rights. When you come back from one of these Undiscovered tours, you can brag about the areas that you visited that are lesser known and kind of hidden gems of Europe. Another one of our travel styles with Globus is called Escapes. And for our people here at Expedia, they know all about off-season travel and shoulder season, like we like to call it. That's what the Escapes program with Globus is all about. It's off-season travel, usually going from November through till the end of March. We actually just came off the shoulder season. So if you have the vacation time and you're willing to take that holiday during that downtime, you're dealing with less crowds, right? And a lot of savings. It's usually half the crowds with half the costs of our peak seasonality. So, again, when you're booking with Expedia, they can help you find an escape program if you do have that timeline in mind. Here's an Italian escape in comparison to what the Best of Italy was offering. This one's a little bit shorter with two, and two in terms of overnight. So two in Rome, two in Florence, and two in Venice. So it's kind of an abbreviated version of the Best of Italy tour that we just showed you. But again, you still have that photo opportunity with that beautiful Leaning Tower of Pisa. Another one of our 12 travel styles is choice touring by Globus. And the benefit here, and this actually came from client research. We asked them, what are you looking for in a touring package? 9 times out of 10, they wanted these three things. So freedom, flexibility, and choice. So I'll show you how we kind of work that into the equation with a quick glimpse of our Scotland by Design, or Hot TAM. This particular 9-day trip into Edinburgh, home from Glasgow, everywhere you see a beacon with that C for choice along the way, that means an area where, you're getting off the coach and you're going to have the option to do whatever you want to do in that area. These are not out-of-pocket expenses. These are not optional excursions. These are excursions that are included with the initial price that you pay. But I'll give you an example. It allows for a really good blend, right? So we could all be on the same guided vacation, but doing different things in the different areas. So one may want to sip some Scottish whiskey, where another may want to play around the golf, or maybe take out a bike and pedal around town. Totally up to you on what you want to do. So again, all like-minded because you've chosen the same itinerary, however, free to do what you like when in destination. It's not uncommon to have even husband and wife kind of break free and do their own thing, right? Husband may want to play around the golf or vice versa, and why not, right? So it adds a beautiful flavor to the itineraries. A little insider tip to finding these ones would be anything by design. So if you have like Italy by design, Ireland by design, that's when you know you're in a choice vacation. And this is a growing product. It actually stemmed from our Avalon product that always offers choice, and we'll highlight that in the later part of the presentation tonight. But yeah, anything by design. And again, even from 23 to 24, we expanded on this program. So be looking out for new and exciting ones. Now, we've talked a lot about our Globus coach and guided vacations. We also have a product called Independence by Globus, and this is great for the individual that may not want to take a guided vacation with Globus or with Cosmos for that matter, but would rather have a lot of free time and more time to explore on their own, do their own thing on an independent scale. We offer it with this product. I'll give you an idea what they're all about. They're like independent stays in Europe, the exotic programs, including Buenos Aires, Rio de Janeiro, Santiago. So as an example, the Rome, Florence, and Venice, that 3-city stay, we incorporate the in-between transportation by train from one city to the next. And we also have the ability to give you an orientation guided tour in each of the cities. But at that point, you're on your own. You do whatever you like. You're not part of a coach environment. You're not part of a group. You don't have a tour director. You only have that local host that'll help you for that orientation guided visit. And then from that point onward, you're free to do whatever you like. We're showing more and more interest for multi-generational families, grandparents buying these trips for their kids and their grandkids, honeymoon couples, you name it, the full gamut for independent works really well. So that leads us into our Cosmos package holidays. And these are, again, as you watch from that opening video, this came around back in 1961, where Globus began in 1928. This came around 1961, and it was more for the budget orientated mind and, more freedom to explore. And I'll get into the nitty gritty as to the why behind that. Still fully guided. You'll have your tour director, coach driver, local guides, you name it, but just more on a budget orientated scale. And these are the key, points of difference between Globus and Cosmos. So what we have is, the innovative itineraries that remains true. We like to call them smart hotels, and I'll get more into the in-depth, rationale behind that. Just the right amount of sightseeing. Again, new motor coaches, we lease them here as well. We don't own them. But when we talk about the major price difference, it would be right in the hotel category. So we like to call these smart hotels. They're clean, comfortable, and convenient. When we talked about Globus, we talked about them being very centrally located. With Cosmos, they're a little bit on the outskirt. So if you're okay with the hotel being a little bit on the outskirt, there's a lot of savings to be had with that hotel selection. Remember, you're always going to get a locally guided or with tour director visit of that city. Then you can opt to remain in that city if you like, while the coach continues to the hotel, or you can take that transportation back to the hotel, totally up to you, right? So you have that ability to pretty much do what you want. And the benefit of not paying as much is you won't have as much included. So that lean more toward the freedom and flexibility to the touring. So the bricks and mortar, the structure of a tour, but giving you a little more free time because you haven't paid as much as a Globus tour that is very in detail and giving you a lot. So the main differences, just to summarize, would be hotels first and foremost. Meals, what you'll find is with Globus, you're going to get breakfast daily, and a lot of the dinners will be included depending on the itinerary that you're choosing. Lunch, because you're traveling, is usually on your own. With Cosmos, breakfast daily remains true and constant. However, lunch and dinner, you're usually on your own. Maybe treat as an optional excursion with Cosmos that you may want to take in a dinner with the group, but in terms of included, it's not included the way a Globus tour would be. The other factor would be the local favorites that we talked about. Remember, digging deeper into the people and the culture. That's a feature that we offer with Globus that we do not offer with Cosmos. But always bearing in mind that the VIP access and all of the fun stuff that's incorporated into a package also remains true with the Cosmos tour, just as it is with Globus. So we started the PowerPoint presentation and consumer event earlier with a video, but it was a fun video related to what we don't do with the Lightning. I thought it'd be nice to summarize what we do with our Globus video right after this. So it's all about experience, value, reliability, and ease, and that's what we try to incorporate into every package. So enjoy this short video.
It doesn't take a giant leap to open yourself up to new experiences. It just takes one small step into the world with Globus. Globus. By turning the foreign into the familiar, we make it easy for you to discover a new path, reserve a different table, or even try a new mode of transportation. We are inspirers and encouragers, leading you beyond places to the moments and memories that lie just beyond your comfort zone, because that's where life begins.
So there you have it. That's the Globus and Cosmos in a nutshell. Again, Expedia will help you with all your booking needs related to anything guided vacations. And that leads us right into Avalon Waterways and who we are as an Avalon or a river cruise company. Again, you watch from the history of our company video. Avalon came around 2004. And we truly revolutionized the way you think about river cruising when we launched our Panorama Suites in 2011. So the state of the art, really cruising elevated is how we like to categorize it. Our product lineup remains true with all the factors. So just how we started with a video related to coach touring, I thought it'd be fun to have a video related to Avalon River cruising and all the fun things that happen there. Again, in person, we normally ask who's been on a Avalon Waterways cruise, and whoever doesn't put up their hand, I ask who wants to get on one right now. So here we go. We're going to get you on one right now.
Exciting and new. Come aboard. We're expecting you. Life's sweetest reward. It floats back to you. Soon we'll be making another run. Promise is something forever. Set a course for adventure. Your mind's on a new romance. Won't hurt anymore. It's an open smile. Oh, be sure. Oh, that's right.
So yeah, that video never gets old. Depending on which event I'm hosting, if someone's in the audience and I don't play that video, they ask me for it. So there you have that mishaps of what can happen on the water. The complete opposite of what can happen on an Avalon cruise, but we love showing that just to highlight some fun. We'd be remiss if we didn't talk about our Cruise Critic Awards. These awards are very, very hard to attain, and every year we seem to win Best River Cruise Company, Best European River Cruise Company, Best Cruise Line Shore Excursions, you name it. So we're very, very proud of these because these Cruise Critic Awards are hard to get. They come from customer research. People have to take the product in order to get categorized into these awards. So we're truly proud of them, and we love to highlight that we've won so many of them. When it comes to river cruising, no question is a dumb question. You name the river and we are hitting it. We're all about exploring new options and different destinations. We're always exploring new rivers along the way. But with all the locking systems and everything throughout Europe, it's not uncommon to have back-to-back cruises. Some people look at our itineraries and say, oh, that one's a 7-day, a little bit short. I'd love to have a 14-day experience. How can we do it? While looking at the map that you have in front of you there, I was going to say the world is your oyster, but in this particular case, Europe is your oyster, and you could just add or remove as needed, right? With all the locks, you can interconnect and do as long or as short as your heart desires. So why river cruising? River cruising is, again, kind of a new segment to the travel marketplace. And I'd say new, but again, 2004 is when we launched. But, you want to look at it as a floating boutique hotel, right? It's really that small ambience look and feel. Nothing like the big ship cruises. This is very, very tranquil in terms of the water. You very seldom even feel the ship as it's moving. It's very, very smooth. In fact, on my last cruise I was on, and a gentleman came to me and said, is the ship actually moving? And is it electric? Or, what type of engines do we have here? And I go, yeah, look along the shore. You can tell we are moving. And these are big diesel engines. Our engine room is huge. So they're not electric yet, but you would think that they were for how quiet they are and how smooth they run. So seasickness, usually null and void, very hard to get sick on these ships. All-inclusive value, 100%. So when we're talking about the inclusions with Globus and Cosmos, what's including, what isn't, it's very easy with Avalon. Everything is included. You know, you have breakfast, lunch, and dinner on board the ship. Wine and beer with lunch and dinner and soft drinks, but we'll get into that a little bit later, but it is definitely all-inclusive value. One of the major attractions to river cruising is the close proximity to the major attractions. You know how we talked about Globus being very central with the hotel selection? Well, picture when you're on the boutique floating hotel of an Avalon ship, you're getting into your dock, your port, and you're basically walking distance to the main square shopping area. You know, it's so close proximity to all the attractions. And for all the single travelers that are listening to the presentation tonight, this is great for single travelers. What we tend to do through the course of the year is waive the single room supplement. So look out for those added value departures. Again, Expedia can help you in finding those if you are a single traveler wanting to avoid paying that single room supplement. So this is another claim to our fame. We're all suite fleet, and we also are the newest on the water, right? So it's not uncommon to be on, let's say, the Avalon View that I've recently been on, and that ship set sail in 2020. Our brand new one, and I'm kind of letting it out right now, but our brand new one is the Alegria, and that's on the Douro, and it's literally 2 weeks old. We just had the christening and the inaugural for that one on the Douro in Portugal. So brand new state-of-the-art technology, and we'll highlight the little benefits of what we do and what we're all known for. Definitely fewer passengers and more space. What we try our best to do and what we try to incorporate into each of these Avalon packages is this type of panorama suite. The panorama suite is exactly what you're looking at here. It's no balcony is how we built these ships. It's a 7-foot by 11-foot opening. So you have open air concept with the bed angled toward the water, with the furniture that's movable. And, you know, we had a cruise director in town recent, and he summed it up nicely. He said, you know, our ships are modern, contemporary, very straight lines. But one of the key features is because they're modern and contemporary with the look and feel, so is the furniture. So it's not very bulky in the room, and it just adds for that spacious ambiance. We are pretty much leading standard in terms of space in the room. At 172 square feet is the lower berth. That's just below the level that we were looking at previous with the panorama suite. So that's the image on your left there. That window that you're looking at doesn't open. So on the lower berth at 172 square feet, that window does not open. I've had the pleasure of doing both. I've done deluxe stateroom as well as a panorama suite. And I can tell you that 30 some odd square feet, you do feel it. However, you do have the space. At 172 square feet, you still have room because we're very, again, there's method to the madness with the room design. You know, you still have the opportunity to put your suitcase underneath the bed. The bathroom is still very spacious. But again, going up to that 200 square foot level at the panorama suite, I find that that's the perfect size. And I'll highlight the strategic move on angling the bed the way we did. Each of our ships would have 2 royal suites as well, and they're at 300 square feet. I have to admit, these are large. We had the pleasure of viewing one. I've never stayed in one. 2 TVs, a living area, you know, again, bed facing the river, the whole 9 yards, but they are very, very large. 2 per ship, and they do fill up quickly, but know that they are available. Those are the royal suites. So here's the why behind what we've done. You know, when you look at that 200 square foot suite, that's about 30% larger than the industry standard. And why we did it is that image on the left there of a locking system through Europe. You know, that's not uncommon to have a foot or two on either end of the ship. And I can tell you that every river cruise company on the market, we're limited to how wide we can build our ship for that purpose, right? For the locks. So we asked our clients, you know, how often were you actually out on the balcony? And what are the thoughts if we had removed them? And 9 times out of 10, they were saying we were not on the balcony very often. If we wanted a good view, and you can see it actually on the left, you're going into a lock, you want to be on the top deck. You don't want to be in your room. And there's small ship environment that you get up there very quick and efficient. So anyways, that's why we removed it. And you can see that image on the right, that extra square footage that we removed the balcony and made it part of the room. And with that slight angle of the bed, you can see behind the bed wall, you have that large bathroom with a full-size shower, just with that little strategic move of angling the bed toward the river. So that's the why behind it, and this is where we continue to build our ships with this in mind, with all the design features. So remember how we talked about Globus offering choice and variety with their choice touring by Globus? It actually stemmed from Avalon Waterways. We've always incorporated choice into our itineraries. So whether it's a classic, active, or discovery type itinerary, we have it full gamut for you. Classic include, canal cruises, city walks, inside visits. Active, I often get the question, how active is it? It's definitely not your Olympic athlete active. These are guided hikes, taking out a bike, a guided tour, maybe a canoe or a kayak, depending on the itinerary, but definitely not at the Olympic athlete pace. You could still go at your own pace. And then discovery is all about the food, right? The food, maybe a painting workshop, cocktail workshop with tasting. I happened to be on one of these discovery tours or cruises where we had a wine lovers cruise. So we got to sample wine before dinner and learn all about the pairings and whatnot. So it's a really, really nice way to do it. Having the benefit of having Globus backing the product, one of the benefits would be staying longer or maybe starting sooner. Totally up to you. We always have that option of extending either at the beginning or the end of your cruise. How I mentioned earlier, it's not uncommon to make these back to back. So here we have a Rhine cruise beginning in Amsterdam, ending in Basel, Switzerland. But you can make this longer, right? Maybe extending your stay in Lake Lucerne or Lake Como. Not a problem whatsoever. It's totally up to you on what you want to do, how long or how short you want to make it. It's your way for sure. This is one of the slides that I love highlighting. It's all the little things that we add into the Avalon experience, like in the bathroom with the L'Occitane product, the shampoos, the lotions, conditioners. They're all L'Occitane, which are, premium products to say the least. And you get spoiled while you're on the Avalon ship with them. We have nightly turn down service. So, while you're out listening to the port talk or going in for dinner, your room is getting, fluffed up with the pillows and bed being made and whatnot. Another little benefit that we offer is, let's say opening night, you found that the bed was a little bit too hard or too soft. No problem. We can change the mattress topper to suit your needs, including the pillows, harder or softer, without issue. You just request it and we'll change that up for you. We have a fitness center on board all our ships. So if you want to continue with your regular routine, we have that little fitness facility available for you 24 hours to use. And then in terms of the Avalon dining, we like to call it flex dining. So really you're choosing the venue for where you want to be eating or what you have in store for that particular day. Obviously the panorama dining room is always available for dinners and lunches. The panorama bistro is usually on the main level with the lounge in the front of the ship. And that's usually lunches, buffet style lunch. If you don't want to have a sit down lunch, they're both open for you. And depending on the itinerary, we'll also have bistro style for dinner as well. Sky Grill is that image on the top part of the slide there, showing you the top Sky Grill. This is very seasonal, but we'll have like barbecue style on the top grill for lunch. That's available for you depending on the itinerary and season. And then room service as well. So let's say you just want to hang out in your room, we can bring the meal to your room. You just have to request that ahead of time and we'll take care of it. The very last image on the right-hand side, you can see them having a picnic there. What that means is if you're leaving the ship and you know you're not going to be back for lunch, we can actually box you a lunch and you can have that little picnic on the side. Most people end up coming back to the ship because depending on the excursion that you're taking, it usually comes back for lunch. But again, if you know you're going to be out and about, we can box you a lunch. Just ask for it in advance. It's all about the Avalon Fresh, and the Rank brothers are the two brothers that it's chef-inspired meals. Our surveys are filled with people ranting and raving about the meal experience on board. Truly gourmet style food. Highlighting any of the dietary restrictions or anything you need, we would accommodate for you. Just let us know ahead of time, and we mark the manifests for you before travel. And then actually on opening day, the cruise director will have a short meeting for anyone that does have dietary needs, and we'll accommodate for you while you're on the ship. So complimentary beer and wine we already talked about, and sparkling wine with the meals. Those are all included with lunch and dinner. The wine local to the region that you're visiting, some of the beers as well, authentic and local to the area that you're visiting. Happy hour, nightly happy hour during the port talk. That's usually 5:45 to 6:45. Before 2023, it was that you paid half price for the cocktails. Now I can safely tell you that there are happy hours included. So complimentary cocktails during happy hour from 5:45 to 6:45. And yeah, so you have not only beer and wine, but you also have cocktails. Common question would be related to can you buy a drink package? We don't sell a drink package. Any further drinks would be on consumption. You just charge it to the room and take care of your bill before leaving. But yeah, that's a lot included already. But if you want to have that side drink outside of those timelines, then you would pay for it. Here's the club lounge in the front view of the ship. Here, this picture doesn't do it justice. It's a very large lounge in the front. It actually could accommodate for all the passengers. So usually the capacity is about 140 to 160 passengers. Very intimate, how we talked about earlier, but you can all fit in that club lounge in the front. And that's usually where the port talks are being held from 5:45 to 6:45. This is the back lounge. I believe this is the view because the view ship, I recognize this back lounge. This is open 24 hours a day, same like the front lounge. And in both instances, you have sweet and savory treats 24 hours, so they, replenish them. You have that coffee machine on the back of this photo there where it'll make pretty much anything. Espresso, cappuccino, lattes, teas, whatever your heart desires, that machine will make it for you. If this photo was taken a little bit further back, you'd see one of the many water refilling stations that we have on board. We actually encourage you to bring your own water bottle on board. And even if you happen to forget, we can give you a souvenir bottle at the front reception. But long story short, the water refilling station is filled with goodies, flat water, bubbly water, flavored water, you name the water, we offer it. And I believe, depending on the ship, the view, if this is the view that we're looking at, it had 3 water refilling stations, one in the front lounge, one in the middle, and one in the back. So always there for you. We talked about it earlier, but complimentary Wi-Fi. We will not be nickel and diming you for Wi-Fi. That's complimentary, and it is very strong. I've been on many work conferences and things of that nature where I needed the Wi-Fi even for presentations, and the Wi-Fi is really good Wi-Fi. So we often talk about, packing your passions and, special interest type cruises. We have quite a few. So really depending on what your likes and dislikes are and what you want to do on your particular river cruise. When you're dealing with Expedia, they can help you in selecting which one you'd want to focus on, whether it be beer tasting, culinary cruise, festive time type cruises, or more historian type cruises. We have the full gamut. So it's really depending on you and which itinerary you choose for your holiday and what special interests you might want to dive into. We also have Avalon Adventure hosts available on our ships. So if, for example, you want to be adventurous and go out on one of those hikes or get one of those photos like on the left at one of the top citadels or viewpoints like that, they can take you up there. They can also help you with any type of active stuff like taking out a bike, maybe doing yoga in the morning with one of our active adventure hosts. So again, keeping with your routine that you might be doing at home, they're all about helping you with that. And we have a Go app pretty much with all of our products. So we have a Avalon Go app, we have a Globus Go app, we have a Cosmos Go app. And what these are all about is just giving you the latest and greatest updated information related to your tour and your itinerary. So we encourage you to download that app before you travel. I love showing this image because, well, for more than one reason. Here you have the Artistry 2, beautiful ship with the top deck and kind of highlighting the different things on the top deck. We have a little hot tub available, again, seasonal, depending on when you're traveling. And what I love showing this image is how close you are to the main squares or any of the attractions related to that destination. You get off the ship, you're not herded off. It's like very easy with your card keys, security wise, you're in and out. But I love it. You're so close to anything that you want to see and do for that particular day. People don't realize that the rivers were there way before the roads were. So to experience it on the water, even if you've done that same itinerary on land, is a totally different vantage point. Everything seems to be angled toward the water. It's just a beautiful way to experience Europe for sure. And as much as our presentation was heavily focused on Europe, know that we do offer the exotic programs as well. So whether it be the Mekong, the Amazon, Galapagos, or the Nile in Egypt, we offer these river cruises. Just bearing in mind that in these particular settings with our exotic, like we like to categorize, we don't own the ships like we do in Europe. So these ships are chartered out. So the look and feel will be Avalon. However, it is not an Avalon specific ship. So just keep that in mind. But these exotic programs are growing in popularity and they are a beautiful way to experience the exotic destinations. So I kind of let it out earlier related to the brand new itinerary for 2024. That would be the Douro and Portugal. So we like to call that elevating the Douro experience. We built this ship, the Alegria, specific for the Douro Valley, meaning this particular ship is our smallest of our fleet. I'm going to highlight the categories on this one. I could safely tell you that the popularity of this cruise was overwhelming to the point that 2024 is completely sold out. So we just launched, we just had our inaugural, this beautiful cruise in Portugal, Porto to Porto, 7 overnight on the ship, is sold out for 2024. So if you're interested, it's moving into 2025 for Portugal with Avalon. There's an idea or what we're showing with the Alegria, 102 capacity, again, one of our smallest ships. New and unique to Avalon, we actually have a swimming pool on the top deck, which I'm told is commonplace for the Portuguese cruises. I guess the climate-wise, in the middle of summer, you'd want to jump into the swimming pool on the top deck. I totally forgot to mention, but the typical stuff on the top deck, like mini putt, checkerboard. We also have cornhole if you want to play a cornhole tournament up there. That can all be done through the front desk and the adventure host that's available to you. Brand new for 2025 moving forward, we're going into the Bordeaux region of France. So we've always been in France with the Rhone and the Seine River, but now we're doing the Bordeaux region, again, famously known for the wine and everything else. So we're truly excited. It's probably going to gain the popularity that our Douro experience did, but know that that is available for 2025 onward. We're just kind of giving you a glimpse. Common would be to extend. So going from a 7-day to a 15-day, including, let's say, Paris, Normandy, and the Bordeaux region, like that one on the left, or maybe the Seine with the Bordeaux. Like I said, we've always been in France, but you can make it as long or as short as you'd like. So it goes from 7 days right up to 22 days if you really wanted to extend. So this is the Whisper audio headset, and we have this throughout our whole product lineup. And for those of you who have been on a guided vacation or maybe an Avalon cruise with us, you would know the benefit of these Whisper audio headsets for all our land excursions. So when you're getting out and about, we have these with the audio being live commentary from the local guide or the cruise director or tour director. You do not have to huddle around the local guide or cruise director. You could kind of, go at your own pace, but still hear the full commentary. This is huge. Many companies out there are not using these, and you can totally spot them. Everyone's trying to huddle around the local guide. People that haven't paid for that particular experience, just regular tourists, they're trying to listen in when they hear the English language being spoken. Anyway, here you have it all in your little earpiece, and we offer that on all of our product lineup. So I thought it'd be fitting to end this part of the Avalon experience with a video, because the fun video at the beginning was not really who we are. So here you have a familiar face kind of highlighting Avalon and the experience here.
Remarkable experiences reside beyond the ordinary. Avalon heard the siren song to elevate cruising, and they have. Smaller ships, bigger experiences every day in every port, with fewer people, but more of everything else, right at your fingertips. So if you're ready to cruise different, you're ready for Avalon. Cruising elevated.
So I think that video kind of highlights it better than the flops in the water from the original video that I showed you at the beginning of the presentation. That's Graham McTavish from the Outlander series. Just gives you an idea of one of our storyteller type cruises. Remember how we talked about packing your passion and doing different experiences? One of them is story time experiences with local celebrities and what have you. So Graham McTavish has done one in the past. Who knows? He may do one again. It sold out very quickly with Graham McTavish, but there you have it. With Expedia, we have huge promotions coming. To be honest with you, too many to talk about today. We have plenty, and we have even more, and they're starting as of April 25th. What I can tell you, just for taking part in the webinar tonight and being part of this consumer event, if you book by May 8th, and the Legendary Rivers and Tours promotion that we have going with Expedia will also run until May 8th. So basically, for being part of it, you're looking at 100 per person or 200 per couple, over and above whatever the offerings are for our Globus, Cosmos, or Avalon product, just for attending. So we have a list of the people that attended tonight, and Donna and team will definitely be able to help you at Expedia when you're making your booking. And again, be looking out for the Legendary Rivers promotion, Legendary Rivers and Tours promotion that we have running with Expedia. It's kicking off April 25th, and it goes through till May 8th. So thank you. Thank you so much for your time. I hope you enjoyed that. Normally what we do is we open it up for Q&A. So what I'll do is go back on video with Donna, and we see if you guys have any questions for me. But thank you again. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much, Maurizio. That was awesome as always. There
Thank you.
is one question in the chat. Does Avalon cruise all year around?
Close to all year round. Close to all year round. So depending on the itinerary and the departure, we have Christmas markets, which are becoming more and more popular. So for example, in the Danube, I've yet to have that experience, and I want to go back for Christmas markets, but those run right through into the beginning part of December. I've been in early November, and they're in preparation for the Christmas markets, and it's already beautiful. I could just imagine through that time frame. So to answer the question, almost full year, but usually if you had to pick, it would be from April through till December. April through December.
Does anybody else have any questions? I'm just checking to make sure there's nothing new. I don't think so. So people can actually either raise their hand, or they can unmute, or you can use the chat. But if you do have questions, please reach out to your consultant, and I will make sure this does get out to everybody, to all the consultants. And also, I'll talk to everybody tomorrow, see what everybody wants to do. If they want me to send it out to everybody who registered, or if they want to send it out to their clients, but we will make sure that that is available for everybody for sure tomorrow. And again, if you did manage on it, but you have friends or family who couldn't, for whatever, like with the links having issues, just please let your consultant know or myself know. Call your local Expedia Cruises store, and we will make sure you get a copy of this as well. So
Awesome.
doesn't look, I'm just double checking here. Nope. So
Yeah,
if
that's
that is
perfect.
all, if there's no more questions, I think that's good. I'm going to, before we say goodbye, I will stop the recording.